Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. So pretty much, if you pay your bills on time and you have a high credit score, if you go out to get a mortgage, you're going to pay a higher interest rate so that you can subsidize what would have been bad interest rates for people with low credit scores that didn't pay their bills on time, right? That's pretty much what it comes down to, ladies and gentlemen. You can put whatever twist on it you want, but pretty much taking money from those that did the right thing and giving it to those that did not, for whatever reason. Same thing with the student loans. You know, take a look at what's going on with the student loans. I know that they've forgiven a lot of student loans lately, right? I think it's in the billions of dollars. I haven't kept up with the amount, but in the billions of dollars. But what that's saying is that, hey, you want to go to school? You want to get a student loan and not have to be responsible to pay that loan back? Go ahead, because we'll go ahead and take it from those that either decided to go to school, to college, and pay for it, or from those that never wanted to go to college, didn't go to college, didn't accrue any student loans, and went out there and got a job. Do you really think that it's right? Not even fair or unfair or whatever, but do you really think that it's right for people that took out a loan, whatever kind of a loan it is? For example, let's say you went out there and got a loan for a car, right? And you got a $50,000 loan and you went out and got your nice car that you've always wanted. Just like you went out and got a $100,000 loan and went out and got the nice little diploma you've always wanted, right? Same thing. So let's say you just stop making payments on your car. So now what's going to happen to your car? Yeah, exactly. It's going to be repossessed. And then once it's repossessed, the bank is going to take it. They're going to auction it off. And if they don't get enough in that auction to cover what you still owe them, they're going to go ahead and send yourself a bill for whatever the remainder was, or whatever the delta was, the difference between what you owed them and what they got for the car. Banking system is all screwed up. All these systems are screwed up. And why is that? Because we allow government to get involved. Whenever government gets involved, it screws things up. I just read that all of these leaks that are coming out, and you notice something about leaks, you know, like when there's leaks that come out from the FBI or this airman kid that supposedly leaked out all of this stuff that's national security. You notice that whenever these leaks come out, all you hear about from the pundits on the news or the government is we cannot allow this. We cannot allow someone to leak this out. We must find who the leaker is. We must find who they are and bring them to justice. That's what you hear, right? But what you don't hear is, well, are the things that were leaked, are they true? That's what you don't hear. Are the things that were leaked true? And if the things that were leaked is true, in this case, there's going to be a lot of resignations in Congress and in top corporations. And they're not going to say why they're resigning. More than likely, they'll be like, oh, I just want to spend time with my family. I just, it's health issues. Stuff like that is what you'll hear. But there will be a lot of resignations. So I'm assuming that there will be a lot of resignations. Now, ladies and gentlemen, think about this. Actionable intel, right? But why would I say that? Why would I say you better be getting prepared for all the systems to go down because of all of these leaks that are coming out, and you're going to see congressmen and top officials, CEOs, et cetera, of big corporations being dined out on these leaks as having been, to this island, right? Well, I believe, and I could be 100% wrong, and you know what? I really hope that I am. I believe that these papers are panicking the government. Why is that? Think about how many government officials there are that are involved in that stuff. And there will come a day when these government officials, they're going to feel like they're pinned up against the corner. And trust me, and also people at major banks and all of these places that make our society run the way that it runs now. Although not just, it does run, right? It does work for the most part. Right? Not saying that it's just, but it does work for the most part. So when these leaks come out and we start getting names of top officials that are pedophiles, that are traitors, that are spies, things like that, what are they going to do? What do you think they're going to do? I honestly don't know. But if you're a narcissist, right, or a sociopath, and you know that you're going down, usually the path that those people take are, well, I'm taking the ship down with me. Now, again, maybe that's me being a little bit conspiratorial, but how many people in Congress do you believe out of the 435? Is it 435 or 535? I think it's 535, right? But out of the 535, how many do you believe are honest, God-loving people that love their countries? And even out of those that are honest, God-loving people that love their country, how many do you think could be on the dark side when it comes to those things that I just talked about? They will bring the system down. If you're 17 years old, you can get permission to join the military from your parents. And you can go into the military as a 17-year-old. If you're 18 years old, you can do it on your own. Okay? And then the government can train you. The military, right? The military can train you. And they can send you overseas to do all of these things that we already know soldiers are allowed to do overseas, right? When they're fighting in a war, etc. But in Colorado, the governor sees it fit that if you're 18, you cannot own a firearm. Neither can you own one if you're 19 or 20. Now you have to be 21 years old in order to apply to own a firearm after you wait 3 to 5 days, depending on how much that firearm costs to buy. All right, ladies and gentlemen? And now they can have a red flag law that expands out further as far as to who can call and make the complaint about you not needing to have a firearm for whatever reason, right? That's where we're at. And what I don't understand is this. Why is this allowed? Why is it allowed when we have a constitution that clearly defines the Second Amendment? Why is it allowed, ladies and gentlemen? I honestly don't know. It's a good question, isn't it? Why do we allow government to get away with what they get away with? In the name of safety. It's always been in the name of safety, right? Because you remember that little guy with the crazy little mustache back in Germany? I remember reading a story once of a lady that survived that era. And she said that once that little guy took power, he was elected by like 90% plus of the people because he was promising the people everything. We'll take care of everything. You'll be safe. You'll have everything you need. Well, once he actually took over, he would tell people, well, listen, we are going to have to take away the firearms because it's safer that way so that criminals can't get them. And the people were, yeah, that's fine. That's fine because he said that he's going to take care of us. And eventually they took away all the firearms, all right? And then after the firearms were gone, he was like, well, listen, if you have children that are of special needs or parents that are of special needs, we're going to go ahead and take them and put them in a special needs place so that we can help them. And for children, we'll put them in school, etc., and all that stuff. And the people had no choice. They had no choice but to allow that to happen because they had no way of defending themselves. And then I think that 90+% of the population already knows what happened in the years following his takeover of the people of Germany. And it just makes you wonder, ladies and gentlemen, with the statistics that are out there, with the data that is out there, of all of the things that ail us, right? When heart disease, I believe it's heart disease that is the leading killer in the United States, 600 and something thousand. And then cancer, I think it's 500 and something thousand. And we have all of these things. And then opioid overdoses, 107,000, I think it was last year. And then you have all of these things, automobile accidents, 42 or 48,000, something like that. You have all of these things that are taking the lives of people here in the United States. And they give, for example, amnesty to drug companies that are partially, in my opinion, responsible for the opioid epidemic, number one, and also for all of the deaths of people that are prescribed wrong medications. I think there's like 70,000 or so people in the United States who are prescribed the wrong medication, or the medication that they take, one of the side effects hurt them, and they either get injured, and up to 70,000 die, right? But they give the drug companies amnesty, where now in Colorado, that governor, part of that bill that he either passed by edict, I'm pretty sure it was by edict, that bill says that it's going to take away amnesty from the companies that make firearms. Where in the United States, I think last year there was about 38,000 people in the United States who died due to injuries from a firearm related incident, right? Of that, I think it was 20-something thousand. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, right, I'm going to hear somebody say it out there, right? Of course, every death is terrible. It doesn't matter what you die from, especially if you die an early death. It's terrible. It's not terrible for the person that died. They died. They died, but the people that they leave behind, their family, and of course. But of that 38,000 or so deaths by firearm here in the United States, I think, and my numbers are probably off by a little bit here or there, ladies and gentlemen, but they're around there, right? It was 20-something thousand of people that took their own lives with a firearm. So as far as making the public safer by taking away firearms, you're talking about 38,000, let's say 40,000, and let's say 20,000 by suicide. And then after that, you have 20,000 left. And then how many of those were justified killings for self-defense? They don't talk about that. They don't talk about the 300,000 times every year that a person uses a firearm to defend their body or their families, right? They don't talk about how many hundreds of thousands of times every year a female uses a firearm to keep from getting raped. They won't talk about that because they don't want you to know. I'm telling you right now, and I've told you this before, this is a warning. Don't ever allow the government to take away your firearm. If they want to make you a criminal, along with another 300 million people, want to make them criminals overnight, let them. How are they going to enforce that? I know I'm going on a tangent here. It's just very important that we understand that what we fight for today is not necessarily for us. It's for our children. Right, ladies and gentlemen? Because things don't happen overnight. So protect yourselves. Continue to prepare, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not preparing now, then you need to look around and see what the heck is going on. You know, I have a very bad feeling, and I'll put this out there right now, and I know a lot of people are going to get angry at this, you know, or upset over it. I have a very bad feeling that the next election for the big seat, you know, in the Oval Office, I have a bad feeling that it's not going to go well like people want it to go. I mean, the system is screwed up. I've always said it doesn't matter who sits in the seat. It's the system that needs to be revamped, right? And I remember watching, I didn't watch it. I just saw the title, but I'm assuming this is what he was talking about, Southern Prepper 1. Saw a video where he says, man, why doesn't the dollar just crash already and let's get it over with? Right? Because with a crashed dollar, it will be chaos around the world. And the chips will fall where they fall, right? And I believe there's enough patriots left here in the United States where here we will be better off. Actually, if the dollar fails, once we get over the hard times, we will be better off eventually if the dollar just collapses. We are facing some interesting times at the very, very least. And I believe that we're going to live through those times. You know, if you're at least a half centurion like I am or younger, you will be living through these hard times. And you will see in your lifetime, this is my opinion, you will see in your lifetime a day where the United States is governed in a different way, number one, or the United States is no more, and there is a USA 1 and USA 2, or where the United States entirely is a different country. I believe that in our lifetime we will see something like that. And what's it going to take to get there? I don't know, but that's why we prepare. So continue to prepare, ladies and gentlemen. That is the best thing that we can do. Continue to have a positive outlook. Hey, listen, I don't know if you all think that I'm on a health kick, right? I guess you can say that I am. But the difference between the health kick that I'm on right now is that I finally found what I believe will help me long term, instead of just having a short short-term progress, I found what I believe will help me long-term. And I am documenting that by putting out an episode of how I'm reversing diabetes with ketovore and eventually carnivore. I'm putting out a new episode every Tuesday. So every Tuesday, I guess you can call it Keto Tuesday, right? Because that's what we'll be doing. And it may not be for everyone, but at the very least, it's a little bit entertaining, I would say. All right. So if you're not into ketovore and you're all into plants and stuff like that, you can still watch it. And it's not something where I'm trying to convince you, this is what you must do. This is what you must do. Absolutely not. All right. I better stop talking because this video is going on way longer than it should. And I think that I walked a little farther than I should as well. But let me go ahead and turn around. Other than that, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining in. I hope that you all had a great weekend. And I hope that you have a good week ahead. God bless every one of you. God bless America. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to support yourself and this channel by preparing with companies that I like and trust, then please consider taking a look at the links within the description of my videos. There you will find anything from long-term food storage like nutrient survival, how to protect your wealth by getting a free consultation with ITM Trading or Genesis Gold Group, emergency antibiotics that you can acquire legally, and power generation in the case of a grid down scenario. These are all companies that I trust and whose products I believe in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a bonus clip, all right? I'm on my way back home, and I was thinking to myself, you know, about Colorado and some of these other states that are passing these draconian laws and stuff on guns and other things as well. I was thinking to myself, what are companies doing? You know how the last couple of years you've heard of all of these corporations, big businesses, big companies just shutting down their stores and moving to other states? They're leaving. So take a look at it this way if you want. If you're afraid of uprooting, take a look at your household like if it's a business, which in a way, running a household is like a business, right? Like whoever pays the bills in the house and is responsible for paying all the bills, making sure they're on time, making sure that you're within budget, you're like a miniature CPA for your house. So running your household is like a business. So why don't you follow the lead of all of these huge corporations that are worth billions and billions of dollars and leave these draconian states? Just make sure that you don't take the politics of that state with you, because it is because of the politics and the victimhood mentality that these states have that has gotten that state to where they are. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, what is it that, I forget his name. He's buddies with Bear Independent, Pasture. Oh, I forget his name. I'm subscribed to him too. But he says, what is it? He says, come out of her, my people. Get out of there. Why are you still there? Ladies and gentlemen, let those states self-implode. Look at California. Look at Illinois. Look at Connecticut. Look at a lot of these states that have been run down to the ground. What's happening to them? Get out of her, my people. Or come out of her, my people. Because it's not going to get any better. It's really not. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets any better. God bless every one of you.